Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the SmashBros AMA, brought to you by the Daily Dot. I, of course, am your host, Ian Double John Barker. The irony of being someone with two Johns in their name on a show that tolerates no Johns, not lost on me. Joining me, of course, is Jacob Braille Wolf. Jacob, how are you this evening?
Doing pretty well, man. How about yourself?
I said it was good. Did you not hear me? I said it was good. Either way, we got a great show for you tonight. We've got none other than Johnny S2J Kim. Don't ask what the S2J stands for because I won't say it because we esports. He joins us, popular player out of California, Captain Falcon player who's given more than a couple knees to people in his long and illustrious career. Johnny, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing good. Happy to be here.
Nice.
And let's answer some questions.
Nice. Excellent. Yeah. I did tell Johnny before the show that he should say, I'm happy to be here. And if he's not happy to be here, he should be honest. So we now know that he's officially happy to be here. He had full clearance to complain about the show. So if you're not familiar with the format, of course, every Monday or Tuesday, whenever we can lock down somebody big and important in the Smash world for a guest, we let the SmashBros AMA, or SmashBros AMA mods, the SmashBros mods know, and they very graciously put up a thread for us. You put your favorite questions in there for the personality of the week. Upvote your favorites, downvote your least favorites, and we ask them live on Thursdays. And we've got a great batch of questions tonight. It's going to be fun AMA. Johnny, are you ready for the worst that the SmashBros community has to offer?
Yeah.
Excellent.
I'm ready.
Excellent. Let's do this. All right. So kicking off with our first question. This one comes from Kyle Crimmins. Wants to know, how did you first meet Mango and the rest of the Norwalk crew?
First met Mango at some dude's house. Dunk. I don't know if you guys know who Dunk is, but his house was like the hub where all the good players kind of met and hung out, and then that's where we all became good friends pretty much. And that's pretty much how I met Mango, Alex, and Joey, and got to really hang out with them, I guess, like 4 or 5 years ago.
And if I've learned anything about Dunk from last week's AMA, it's that apparently he sucks at things. That's that's one of the questions that came up on Joey's AMA. Tell us a little bit about Dunk for those who aren't aware of him. Is he just a Smash staple? Why haven't we seen more of him?
What do you mean? Like, is it just because like?
Well, I mean, okay. You met Mango at his house. He comes up to Joey's AMA. This is a guy whose name I honestly hadn't heard until we had Joey on the show, and yet here's his name again. Who is the mysterious Dunk pulling the strings behind the scenes?
He's just a super homie. He's the worst skill-wise, but he's still pretty good, honestly. He still beat a lot of people. It's just that whenever you watch Mango stream, like, he's like getting trashed on, so people think he actually sucks, when really he's actually pretty decent.
Super homie. I think there are worse things to be called.
I mean, like, what is it to be said when you're the worst out of like S2J, Lucky, and Mango though? Like,
I feel like that's sitting on the bench for like the Kansas City Royals. You know, like, I mean, yeah, you're not top of the batting order, but you just won a World Series.
Yeah.
Certainly. Okay. Well. In the meantime, we'll have to have Dunk on the show if there's any demand for it. Moving on to our next question. Lol CEO, welcome back to the show. Lol CEO, yet another regular contributor to our illustrious program, wants to know, what are your thoughts on the 20GX movement and their interpretation of how Falcon should be played?
Their way of looking at the game is pretty cool, but it's just not for me. That's just, I'd rather just play the way I want to. And the way they want to play is also not bad either. So,
Can you elaborate a little bit on how they want to play that's different from the way that you play?
Yeah, they're all about picking the right option every time and being really good at the tiny, like, micro situations. Well, I'm more about having like good reads and stuff. That's kind of the simple way to put it, I guess.
That sounds like a lot less fun than just giving everybody the knee, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. I mean, I'm more about like the crazy Johnny Slugs and gambles and stuff. They're more about like, we got to do the right, exact pixel perfect stuff. this exact moment. I'm like, and that's actually really good too, you know.
I kind of
It's just
feel
not for
like
me, I guess.
overall, when we had PPU on, he was talking about the different playstyles of Marth, where like he was saying Mewtwo King when he plays Marth, and PP they're a little bit more calculated, where he's a little bit let loose and reads and hits at the right time. I kind of feel with like Falcon, and you see people who like dual main Falcon, like Lucky, where like he just goes off and hits someone, and it doesn't matter. Like I kind of feel like Falcon is a very like read reliant character. Would you agree with that?
He could be. I mean, I think the second best Falcon, Wizrobe. I don't think he's as read reliant as more so than just like doing the right like thing in a matchup. For example, against like the floaties, he won't really try to read them. He'll just try to like grind out the matchup, and win in his own way. So he could be.
I have
Honestly,
to
I think he's good at
reiterate
both.
that sounds less fun than just giving everybody the business every match. I mean, because Captain Falcon seems like one of those characters that's actually super YOLO. You know, I mean, you're off the stage with the knee. If that doesn't work, I mean, his recovery, give me a break.
You're kind of screwed at that point if you miss, which yeah.
It's actually funny. I before the show went live, we were watching what people like to call Johnny stocks, the top 15 Johnny stocks. Talk to us a little bit about what Johnny stocks are.
Well, Johnny stock is where I just like completely destroy stock from like 0 to totally die. Yeah, that's basically it. I just like had the right like amount of reads, and then I just keep hitting until they die, pretty much.
I feel like I've heard it described so many times as like Super Saiyan. Just I can just imagine Johnny here with like the giant like Dragon Ball Z hair and just.
It's harder for me to picture mild mannered Johnny over here acting the same way, perhaps, as a Super Saiyan. So maybe it's not quite the same thing.
So some of the best moments in history, though, in Smash have been Captain Falcon's just going off like on people.
That is true.
It's great.
That is true.
It's like obviously the most hype.
The knee, the boot, I mean, there's
the punch.
The punch. He really, I mean, he just feels like, as somebody who plays King DDD, I know what it's like to go for the big home run punch and miss it utterly. But I can't see myself playing any other character, because the moment when I land like the big hammer and just KO someone from like 60%, like I'm not gonna give that up, you know.
Yeah, you always got to go for glory.
Yeah,
That's what I try to do.
Absolutely. But there is no for glory mode in Melee, so
destruction. Just like
good one, Ian. Coming at you, the next question. Arch Reaper wants to know, if all of the MIOM top 100 entered a tourney that was Falcon only, what would the top 6 look like?
Probably like all the lamest people, because Falcon Dittos at top level is just like who plays lamer. It's kind of like Sheik Dittos, in my opinion.
What's lame from Captain Falcon?
Well, you can literally just like keep throwing them and until you die. And, like watch Wizzy play Falcon Dittos, and anyways, Wizzy will be in my top 6 probably. He'll be like up there. Probably Mewtwo King. I don't know. It's maybe me, the 20 Jokes Falcons, and insert lame player here who plays Falcon. Like they can probably pull it off. It's not very hard to play lame. It's like Sheik Dittos kind of.
No. What do you mean? Maybe you? I mean, this is your AMA. This is your chance to be like number one. Got it. It's done.
That's true. I don't really care what Falcon Dittos do. I think it's just a lame matchup, straight up. I'd rather not play it. It's not something I'd be proud of, like winning.
How do you
That's
feel?
me,
How do you feel like other mains, like people who play Fox and Falco, like would transition into the Falcon role in like a tournament like that?
I don't know. It's tough to say. Like, they probably wouldn't like be as like lame as shit. I don't know. It's hard to say, dude.
I feel like this needs to be like, yo, like Jabali, just make this happen at CEO, please. Like a Falcon top 100, like tons of money on the line.
Well, what needs to you gotta dress it all the way up, right? Like when I believe it was ESL, had like the pyrotechnics go off whenever the bomb would explode for Counter-Strike. You need like as soon as a Falcon punch hits, like flames like off the turnbuckle. Like that is the only proper way to do Captain Falcon Dittos justice. As far as I mean, you're saying lame. I'm hearing the manliest thing since Paul Bunyan and who's another man? Theodore Roosevelt got into a fight.
No, trust me, dude. Like matchup, the people who win Falcon deals are like the lamest, pretty much. Like Wizrobe won round robin at Super Nips 3. He won because everyone else was like having a couple of drinks, just having fun. He just fucking didn't give a fuck. He's like a Terminator. Just wanted to beat everybody, but he doesn't in like the lamest way.
That's what
And
happens
for Falcon Dittos is the best way to do it, honestly.
That's what happens when you can't drink. He's too young to drink.
Right,
Yeah, he's fucking
That's exactly
like 16, 14 years old. Yeah.
It's pretty funny to think of Wizrobe, having met him in person, going Terminator on set. I met the kid, and I swear to God, I was like, "Hey, can I interview you? Because you're sort of an up and comer." And he was like so confused. He was like, "Yeah, I guess sure, I guess." Wizrobe, feel free to come on the show. Probably never going to get him now. Going on to our next question. Oh, God, I'm so sorry. The Jerks is us, because I took your question. How would you describe your mindset? Oh, no, okay, this is a little bit different, so I'm off the hook. How would you describe your mindset when you're in the middle of a Johnny stock?
I usually just don't think about anything at all when I play the game. Yeah, my mindset, I guess, I don't think about it while I play, but maybe after the fact, I'm like, oh yeah, fuck yeah. I fucked this shit up, you know?
I feel like is that what happens to Mango too? I mean, you've met the guy. When Mango just goes on that round of just crazy reads, is the same kind of thing happening? He just sort of shuts it off and goes into I don't give a fuck mode, and that's what happens?
Yeah, I think we both try not to think too much when we play. Just like the little things at most. But just like me, I think after the fact, it was like, you got you, bitch, or whatever.
I kind of feel like I feel like those are the two different types of players, though. You have your thinkers, and you have your doers. And like the thinkers, kind of like Mewtwo King and PBMD, and like those kind of players, they kind of think about everything. Whereas like just straight up, you have people like yourself and Mango who just don't care. Like you just do it. You just
right.
Go
it's
off.
Definitely it's definitely like two schools of people, like the thinkers and like the what you call like instinct people, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
two very different schools of thought. They're both amazing, I guess. Yeah.
My favorite though is we've done a ton of these AMAs to date, and my favorite is when we get the thinker or the instinct players, the YOLO players on the show, and people want to ask them tech questions, and the answer is always I don't know. Like I just do it. I just do it.
Yeah. I would say the same exact thing.
Yeah, tell her what is the frame data? If you're gonna go back through a Falcon, enlighten us, Johnny. What does that look like?
I've never looked at frame data once my whole life, so I can't answer any questions.
Fortunately for you, I don't think we actually have any.
Okay,
So
all right, sweet.
I think we're going to be fine. Next one coming at it. By the way, Jerks is us. Thank you for yet another question. I will never forget that name. Puccio Geishi, I believe I got that right, wants to know, do you think Falcon has what it takes to win a national? Can we count on you for this mission?
Yeah, I think Falcon can definitely win a national. Like, there's no matchup in the game that's like, oh, Falcon's fucked. Like, you know how Ice Climbers have a Peach?
Yeah.
And so forth. Like, there's no real matchup in the game that says, like, oh, Falcon's done for. So, yeah, I think Falcon's... There's so many little things he can, like, get better at. And he has 0 to death potential, especially against, like, floaties. So you can never really count Falcon out. It's just that the people above me, they're just great players, you know?
It always feels a little bit gross, honestly, to watch like Captain Falcon versus Jigglypuff, because you think of like this floaty little like happy pink ball, and like Captain Falcon is like the most visceral character. He's literally just putting knees into this adorable Pokemon. It's tough to watch.
I kind of like it's just there's so many like I guess the big one that is recent though is like when Mike Hayes and Lucky were playing at Smash the Record and like he just throws him off and it just punches him and it's just like
right.
Oh, it's just like scarred for life for melee players if you get Falcon punched off stage like whew.
Well, and then there was that video of Mewtwo King getting Falcon punched like 3 times in 5 minutes or something like that. That was one of my favorite videos because you sort of just, I mean, because Captain Falcon's such a YOLO character, and that's like the most like absurd move in the game. It just doesn't make any sense. It has like no place in competitive play, and you just saw Mewtwo King's brain just like melt down. Like he could not compute what was happening to him. Anyway, moving on to our next question. Druickhead wants to know, you've played Falco a few times in tournaments, like against a bait at the Big House 5. Do you plan on ditching Falcon for the bird in the future?
No, Falcon's always going to be my best character. I think I just want to have a pocket Falco for like really tough people. Like people are like way too good in this Falcon. Like I might just have a better chance of winning with Falco. But like there's so few people I think that actually. So probably never going to give a Falcon.
What matchups in particular, or what people in particular do you pull out the Falco for? Because I'll admit that I haven't seen a ton out of you in the few games that I've seen in tournament.
Probably West Balls. Like the way he plays against Falcon just feels like unwinnable sometimes, especially on certain stages. You know, best of fives. Another thing I gotta say is I might pull out Falco on like bad stages for Falcon, because like there's no bans in best of fives, so you're kind of forced into playing like a stage you don't want to play. So I might switch to Falco in that spot too. But yeah, like West Balls, I can't really play Falcon against Falco on some stages against him. He just makes it like unwinnable, because like he'll literally start like playing super defensive, and I just can't win straight up. It takes like 6 minutes, and then I just lose after 6 minutes. I'd rather Falco Ditto than go through that kind of like pain and ordeal, I guess.
Wait, so what I'm hearing is that you decide to pull out the Falco against the best Falco player in the world. Is that
fuck yeah, dude? I don't care. It's better than going like Falcon and getting fucked up.
What do you think like the pace difference is between Falco and Falcon for you? Like moving around and fighting back.
I guess Falco. I don't know. They're both kind of glass cannon-y characters, but Falco you can play way slower if you feel like it. You have lasers, and I think just even like most people in general just don't like playing as Falcos too. So that kind of helps you in a way. Like when you're playing as Falcons and you're playing on a bad stage, like I think most people like are happy to like see a Falcon, but like Falco, no one's happy to play Falco. So
yeah. Falco and Fox just massively overused. People just are tired of it.
It's probably. I mean, I know I am. I will confess. I would much rather see like what do they call it? 20GX. I'd rather see a 20XX future where it's all Captain Falcons than all Foxes. It's just like I mean Fox is like it's intricate. It's not easy. Like I get that, but I can only watch so many like wave shine up smashes in a row before I'm like, okay, well this is I guess we're doing that again, you know.
I mean, I'm probably gonna be like 95% Falcon, and every time I go Falco, anyways, I still get like fucked up. So I probably just like put most of my resources from now on to like making Falcon as good as it can be, I guess.
What is it like practicing against the other Spaceys? Because obviously you practice a lot with Alex 19, Lucky, and Mango. So like practicing against Foxus and the occasional Falco when Mango plays it.
They're all pretty aggressive. I mean, as aggressive as you could be and still win. And I mean, Mango he like runs at you, and even though you know what he's gonna do, he still kind of beats you. Yeah, I mean, they all have their own flavor of aggression, I guess. So it doesn't really help me for like the super campy Foxes. So playing them three only kind of it has like diminishing returns, I guess. But it's still really helpful for like because they're all really good players.
Do you think that Mango and the other top six are just that much better?
I want to say that much better. You know, we all know all the top 20 to 30 players all know the tech skill. It's just all the mental game, I guess. He's got to not panic, not choke. And Smash is mostly mental, so we all have the tech skill down in this day and age.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of people seem to think that the actual difference between like the 16th place players and the first place players is actually extremely marginal at this point. Whereas we used to have the gods who were so far above everybody that the gap between everybody in the top 16 has shrank quite a bit. What do you think of that?
I'd have to agree. All the gods are starting to lose more and more, and people who are close like SFAT, West Balls, and Axe they're they're making like upsets. Like there's always one big upset every tournament too. So
Yeah,
yeah, I have to completely agree.
tournament.
Yeah, we're at a point where you can't really predict a bracket because at any given time, somebody like Axe or Ice even, or even SFAT or you could easily, suddenly topple the chances. And that's, I gotta say, as for people that have dominated the scene for so long, I can't imagine how frustrating that is to have, to be like, don't worry, I got that. It's top 6 is my destiny. And then S2J Falcon punches you off stage. It's like, okay. Didn't see that coming,
Yeah. It's kind of nice, though. I mean, I guess it's a little bit better for Mango compared to some of the other players because Mango lives in one of the most competitive regions out of all the gods, where they live. You look at, PP, who lives in North Carolina. You look at Leffen and Armada, who really, besides Ice, don't really have many people that are, and Android, don't really have a lot of people that are, that good. But, you look at Super Smash Sundays, you have S2J, MacD, Alex19, Lucky, all these other players who are just really good, and then obviously you have Mango, who is the god.
Yeah, it's like Xanadu, where you got Pink Fresh, Coney. Comparison doesn't hold up, I don't think.
No, but yeah, SoCal is definitely what would you say? Do you think the SoCal practice, in playing against each other every week at Super Smash Sundays, is helping you improve and helping the other guys improve as well?
For sure, yeah, because yeah, for sure. Most regions, like you said, don't have a collected group of people that are all really strong players, but it definitely helps to play them every week or so. Completely agree with that.
By the way, shout outs to Tri-State. I no offense to Coney or Pink Fresh. I've watched you guys for a long time. Moving on to our next question, Mr. Pika Pal wants to know if you could eat. It's probably the closest to a tech question we're gonna get. If you could have one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
All right, let's get this. I'll come back to it.
you want time to think about this one?
I got to think about it.
That's perfectly fine. We can go on to the next one. Mank Deems asks, why smoke only 2 joints?
Well, it's a damn good question.
Mank Deems, hard-hitting fellow. Thank you, Mank Deems, for putting that on the Daily.Esports official Twitch channel. I much appreciate it. Moving on to our next question. Neo Seth wants to know, how did you feel when your edge guards, or lack thereof, became a meme? Did it motivate you to improve, or was it more of an annoyance?
I'd say it was more of an annoyance because, I feel like my edge guarding got a lot better, honestly. And, I'll miss, some insanely hard edge guard. And then, entire Twitch chat's gonna go, S2J edge guard, or you fucking suck. No matter how hard the edge guard was. And then, yeah, it's pretty annoying, honestly, but it's all good. I used to suck really bad, so it's fair.
Well, I mean, I always think about that as somebody sitting on the other side of things, looking at the way that people react when people mess things. I mean, there's literally, if I may use the word, a deluge of comments, just disparaging comments towards players, not just in Smash, but I mean, how do you turn that off? How do you see that and just, or even, I mean, when you're sitting there playing, for example, and you fail an edge guard, does that ever come to mind? Oh, the chat's probably spamming S2J edge guards now.
Yeah. Yes.
No, I just try to empty my mind when I play and just focus on playing well and doing it. Yeah, I don't think about oh no, I fucked up. Now everyone's gonna shit talk me.
There's something
I just try to play well.
There's something to be said about Twitch chat, especially when you're watching League of Legends.
I think there's a lot of things that could be said about Twitch chat. I think we could be here all night. Not our Twitch chat, of course. They're beautiful. They're beautiful, lovely, people. Special snowflakes, and shout outs to each and every one of you. Yeah, but so you keep your mind clear, just learn to forget that stuff. Do you ever have to put yourself on sort of an embargo? I know when TSM's League of Legends team was going through some hardships, they actually had to get away from Reddit and social media entirely to avoid the have you ever had to go that far?
No, I'm no big time League player. There's usually 2 people on Reddit that are really shit talking me super hard, and that's it. So that's all. I mean,
you just use Reddit enhancement suite and just mute them, right?
I just look at it. I'm like, wow, damn, and then that's it. pretty much.
Move on with your life.
Yeah.
Wait, do you have your favorite food yet? Because we could say you move on with your life and eat.
I need more time, dude.
Yes. We'll circle back to that one. We'll circle back. Ninja Penguin 5. Name looks familiar. Ninja Penguin 5. If you have contributed to the show, welcome back. If not, welcome. Ninja Penguin 5, or maybe it's Ninja Penguins, I don't know, wants to know, if you could change one move in Falcon's arsenal, what would you change?
I don't know. I have no idea, straight up.
I have an idea.
Yeah.
Okay. Instead of a triple jump, we give him Jigglypuff's multi-jump, and he just inflates and just goes high, and then you fix his recovery.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, that'd be great, actually.
Inflating Captain Falcon.
Instead of him up being screwed like 80% of the time. Yeah.
Just floating. I can just imagine floating Falcon across the stage. Just
It would look like DDD in the background of Dreamland, where he's just like floating along in the background, except he's got a red helmet on and giant yellow boots. Okay,
he's floating. He grabs someone downstairs and knee.
and then
Boom,
it just floats
combo.
away. That's that. Talk about swag points. If you literally like knee someone off the edge and then just inflate and fly away, like
Chat says,
that's-
give Captain Falcon a jetpack.
I could take that. Or wings. I mean, there's how many superheroes have like bionic wings? At least then he would be Falcon related. But where does that come from anyway? There's nothing Falcon. I've never seen a Falcon drive a car. I've never seen a Falcon show me their moves. I don't. Something has got to be done to fix that. Do you have any idea?
Nope, not really. Honestly.
Have you stopped listening? Cool. Okay, so did everyone else at home.
Maybe.
Moving on to our next question. Jinta Beast wants to know, how do you feel about getting your revenge on a bait at the G3 Salty Suite?
I'm happy I didn't lose. If I lost, then I think it would hurt me a lot if I lost. But I don't know. I wasn't really salty at all. It's just like the dude from Smash GG is like, "Hey, you want to play a bait in the Salty Suite?" I was like, "Nope." and then he's like, "Dude, you gotta do this. You gotta do this, man. It gives me hype." It's like hype as fuck. And then 200 people messaged me too, and then I'm like, "All right, yeah, I'll do it." Pretty much. So I don't really have anything against a bait at all. He's a cool dude. But yeah, I'm happy I didn't lose, because if I lost, then it would just suck. Straight up. So yeah.
There's nothing fun about happy sweets though. There's got to be. You're really kind of killing the salty portion of it. There's got to be drama. There's got to be drama behind it, right? I mean.
Yeah, but there is no drama. Like. So I don't know. I'm just being honest here. Like, I didn't have anything against a bait at all. Some people actually thought like I wanted to like punch him in the face, some shit, but not really. It just
You just wanted to Captain Falcon punch him in the face?
There you go.
yeah, I guess.
I mean, to win him, I bet like only to win a match like that.
Yeah.
It's as far as the rivalry went.
You got to do. They had to do something to replace the Left and West Balls thing that didn't
The
work
Wef
out.
and West Balls thing.
Yeah, the Left and West Balls salty sweet that didn't work out.
That
because-
wasn't a salty sweet. That was a crying clinic. That was just destruction. It was actually a little bit tough to watch. I was salty after that, to be honest, because I wanted to see a closer match. And
No, not the SFAT one. The West Balls was supposed to play Leffen at G3, and then Leffen couldn't come because visa issues.
I didn't
So,
listen.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they had to do something because,
okay, yeah.
yeah.
Was that officially on?
Yeah, there was supposed to be a Leffen West Balls
Leffen.
money match, and Leffen couldn't come because visa. Come on, TSM.
See, now
get your shit sorted.
Now I'm mad at Europe. Now I'm mad at all of Europe. Next question. White Crow wants to know, thoughts on Project M. Captain Falcon can taunt on landing knee and has a better recovery. Winky face.
The game's it's like pretty fun when you play it until you get like hit by some random bullshit, and it just like wrecks you right away, and you don't know what the fuck just happened. Besides that, though, like the game's pretty good.
I feel like that's the game. You step foot into Texas, and it's just like, what am I going to get today? Because there's a lot of people in this state that play that game, and they're all really good at it.
They play Project M?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
In Dallas Fort Worth, there are a lot of people, and they beat top players, like when Les Balls came and entered Project M. So,
okay, who?
let's see here. Strong Bad is really good. Trying to think who else is
Adam.
all
the guy
DFW
who made the game.
Yeah, all the DFW people
forgot
are
about
really
him.
good though. Like all the people that are from Dallas are really good at that game. So you step foot here and you just come prepared for Project M because
I'm
it's
still
prepared
just,
for you.
I'm still just hoping that Snake one day makes it into Smash 4. Anyway, Tetsubo, I believe it's Tetsubo. There's a 3 in it, which I think is an E. Tetsubo wants to know, what do you think is stopping you from reaching the top 10 or 10 to 12, aka the Pew Pew U, SFAT, Axe, West Balls tier? Do you think you could ever reach the top 6 tier?
I think what's hurting me most is in terms of like brackets. I always get the same 2 people who will like beat me, like, and I play like a round 2 right away. That's usually West Balls or SFAT. Although SFAT I have a better record against. I don't know. I just gotta get better at the game and find a way to beat them, I guess, because I'm always gonna play them sooner or later. I think maybe with some like sick bracket luck, I can maybe like break top 8 once in a while, but it'd be like at a less frequent like ratio than people above me. Although PPU, I wouldn't say I'm like worse than, honestly. But that's all. Besides, everyone else is definitely better.
You're talking about bracket luck. Like what is your ideal path to the top 8? Like, who would you love to face? Like, let's say you get it, like break the top 16. Who are your next 2 matches to get you into that next tier?
Say like Duck, the Samus player. Samus is my best matchup. And I guess, I don't know. It's hard to say. Big House 5, I could have got top 8 if I beat a bait. Like, if I beat a bait, I would have to play Duck, and that would have been my top 8 match. After I lost to Mango, probably, winners. So yeah, probably just like Samus's ICs too. I beat 10 to the tournament too. So yeah, I guess just mid-tier floaties.
There's something to be said because there's a lot of people in that tier range that play those characters. In terms of Samus, you have Plup, Duck, and Hugs, and then in terms of Ices, you have Wobbles when he plays well, and Nintendo. So, and the occasional what's the other guy?
You got a fair point because I'm sitting there
like,
hearing that you're good at against Samus, and I'm like, that's unfortunate because that's a match. Like, it's good to have a matchup on lockdown, but it's just so hard to find people that compete Samus or that pick Samus in the top 8 or top 16 these days.
Yeah, I mean, Duck tends to always make a deep run. So does Hugo on a good day.
Chudat. That is who I was forgetting. Thank you, Chad. Yeah.
What about Chudat?
I was trying to figure out who was the other Ices player.
Oh,
of course. Top 20
yeah.
range, usually.
Gotcha. So in the next tournament, when Wobbles, Chudat, Plup, Duck, and Hugs are all in the top 16, it's over. It's done.
Yeah, I'll win the tournament straight up. I'll be so happy.
I think a lot of things. By the way, what is your opinion of Luigi as a character? Because at Big House 5, when a bait went on his crazy run, like there were a lot of tweets saying, "So Luigi's happening now," like as if he's got some latent potential. As somebody who's played against a bait, what do you think of the character in the game as it stands?
Like, how good is he?
Yeah,
I think he's pretty good. Yeah, I think he's pretty good. I also like the character a lot. Like, he's cool in a lot of ways. Not to play against, but like just like combo wise and all the random shit he can do. But he's definitely like a mid tier, and he's just great at the character. He's probably the best Luigi right now, easily.
Well, until we get some more people picking up Luigi, I guess we'll have to find out what else. We'll have to wait and see what that character's capable of.
They all get
back.
deported, though. I mean, according to the people, according to the dude we had call in with the hungry box, they all get deported.
We did have somebody call in and say that Donald Trump wants to deport all Luigi mains. That was a classic moment for us. Anyway, circling back, favorite food. You got this, man. This is literally like we've asked 100 questions, and this has been the hardest one for you so
dude.
far.
Yeah, you got any other questions first? Say the best for last. Say the best for last.
Okay, we'll get back to it.
It's kind of hard when you live in SoCal, though. There's so many things to eat.
That's true. That's true. They
it's
have
such a diverse
food
area.
Yeah, Korean barbecue, ramen, pizza, whatever else as you can tell, I've never been to California. OSO Smash wants to know. This is the PG-13 version of our earlier question. What is the major advantage of sipping 2 juices rather than 1 juice or 3 juices?
I guess it just puts you in the right zone. Not too much, not too little. Yeah.
In terms of juices, what kind of juice would you drink or sip rather?
Are we talking gin and juice or like
Gin and
Minute
juice
Maid?
is a good choice.
Okay. Before a
Long
tournament,
Island,
I
Six,
mean,
Yeah, sure, why not?
Dude, we heard how Lucky like was all like drinking up before.
we did hear
tournaments.
about that. However, I just heard you say
Yeah.
that drinking before a tournament gets you beat by Wizrobe, so tread lightly.
It's the man who doesn't drink that wins the
It's the kid who can't drink. It was a tournament. Woo Mars wants to know, when is your Falcon guide that MIOM promised going to happen?
When I'm ready to release it. I don't want to release like a piece of shit. If I did, I could have released it like pretty quick, but I want it to be hella good.
Is that
So-
like you're protecting like hidden tech or something? Is that what's going on? You don't want to give away too much yet?
No, it's not that. It's just really I don't want to release like a second rate guide. I just want it to be hella good for like almost everyone who's gonna read it. I want people from all levels to like benefit from the guide, I guess. And that's kind of hard to do. I don't know how to exactly make it great for like everyone who reads it. But I want to just release something really good. That's all. That's why it's taking so long.
That makes a lot of sense though, because a lot of the guides you see for characters are like written by people that you don't recognize name wise.
That's true.
And like I think really the only player that's player at least, not like caster, because obviously Prague has been very outspoken about wanting to do a lot of more writing and he even wrote for ESPN.
That's
shout outs to Prague. Anyway, I think the only other player that's really dabbled in guides for Melee is Wobbles, and he's been a little bit outspoken about sitting down and writing some literature on Melee. So it's definitely it takes some skill both in writing and in because you have to organize your thoughts.
That is true, and it honestly surprises me as someone who doesn't know a lot of tech, who doesn't talk about the character in a really. I mean, I'm sure you have a deep understanding of the character, but it doesn't seem like you're doing the same kind of things that like a Mewtwo King is doing or something like that. And yet you're writing a guide. What does a guide look like from a non-technical player?
From a non-technical player. I saying if someone wrote it who's not technical.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I mean, because a lot of people, when they look at a guide, they think, okay, they're going to tell me good combos, they're going to tell me options, they're going to tell me, all these very detailed sort of rote spreadsheet-like stats, and yet your approach to the game is a lot more fluid. It's a lot more instinctive. How do you teach that to someone? I guess is what I'm mainly asking.
I guess I'll kind of go more over like matchups. What you look out for, what you try to do. General gameplay flow. In addition, I want to there's people who do like the same mistakes, like at all levels pretty much. That I want to like touch on. So it'll be pretty useful stuff, even if I'm not going to like sick tech skill stuff, So
Nice.
yeah, that's what I try to do.
That'd be a really interesting guide to read, honestly, because I think that there's a lot of people that get maybe a little bit swallowed up in the idea that this is what you do in this situation, and yet there's so much of the game that's just, hey, you're standing there. You don't have time to say, my opponent's here, I'm here, so I do this. You don't have time to process that all at once. By the way, big shout out, to Short Circuit 546 for subscribing. Thank you so much. We all here at the Daily Dot appreciate your patronage. Moving on to our next question. Tyra wants to know how to get amazing, and that's in all caps, with Falcon. Like what to look out for, and especially how do you practice alone?
Well, you really want to get your tech skill down, and kind of a lame thing to say, but you can never have enough tech skill, I guess. Besides that, you just got to play people. Really, I mean, nowadays you can use the 20XX hack pack. It'll help you a lot more when you play by yourself, but you really want to just play people your level and better. And that's like probably the way to get better, in my opinion, the best way.
So you're saying that a lot of it just has to do with finding people that could push you, people in your area that you can practice with. That makes sense.
Not like Mango level where he's just gonna like shit on you 4 stocks every game. You're not gonna learn anything. So yeah.
That would be pretty tough. I also think that you would have to live in Norwalk to practice with Mango.
Right.
Next question comes to us from Juicy JXX, who wants to know, who is your best low tier character?
Say like Game & Watch probably. Yeah, Game & Watch. Talking about like really shitty tier, yeah, Game & Watch.
Why? How low on the? Yeah, I guess why Game & Watch specifically?
I just think he's offense-wise, he's pretty good. Like, you don't have to play like run like a bitch like with young Link, throw bombs all day. Like, his moves are actually pretty good. It's just that when he gets hit, he dies easily. But yeah, to me, he's just pretty solid, at least offense-wise.
Yeah, it seems like he's got a lot of moves that hit particularly hard. He's got the little manhole cover. He's got the umbrella, which hurts quite a bit. There's the pot of fish, the hammer when it gets the knight. I mean, the matchstick. I guess it's like, now that I'm thinking about it, honestly, in Melee, Mr. Game & Watch was my favorite characters just because he could sort of finish people off so easily.
Yeah, he's cool actually. He's a cool character. I like him.
Are we gonna see him in tournament? Are we gonna see the top 8 S2J Game & Watch?
Maybe one day.
One day, after your Captain Falcon and your Falco have failed you, it's time to bring out
BM someone with Game & Watch. You can see it coming.
That'd be pretty cool. What's the secret tech for Mr. Game & Watch?
Mr. Game & Watch?
Nope.
I don't know, dude. I don't know any crazy next level tech. I actually just play him like once every 3 months, but he's the guy I'd go to if I played low tiers. Yeah.
Fair enough. We'll have to wait and see what the moves look like when you pull it out. Hope Bottle wants to know, how did you first get into Falcon?
I just watched some sick top level Melee videos like literally 10 years ago. I watched like Isaiah versus Ken, and I watched Isaiah fuck him up. And I was like, oh shit. And then I wanted to play Falcon though, and that was it basically.
And that was all it took.
Yeah, I mean, I played Smash 64 when it came out, Melee also, but at the time I played like Dr. Mario and other characters, and then I saw some sick top level Melee videos. That's all it took. I also watched Sonic Spectre play too. On Homemade Waffles had like all of YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Throwbacks.
And I watched hella Sonic Spectre videos, so that's how when I knew I wanted to play Falcon. He seemed like the funnest character.
God, what a like. This weekend disappointed me so much. People are like just bagging in on Homemade Waffles in terms of of casting.
Okay.
Yeah, like that just disappointed me so much because that's one of the OG people in this game, you know? Like I got to meet him when he was down here for Forte. Like, what a nice dude. Super intelligent, knows the game. Come on, Melee community.
Yeah, people. Okay. But anytime people are outspoken about something like that, you have to remember that the majority of people don't say anything. And I mean, if you like this casting, you liked it. If you don't, you don't. Different strokes for different folks. Doesn't change what was an awesome weekend. By the way, talk to us a little bit about your experience at Genesis 3, because at least sitting in the armchairs at home, it looked like an incredible tournament.
Dude, Genesis 3 was like probably top 2 tournament experiences of all time. Both as like a spectator and a competitor. Like tournament was run really well. Like how many people were there? Like 1,500 plus. Like everything was run well. And generally, all the events were good, and it was hype. Like top 8 was amazing. It was like some auditorium, and not like a big ass stage auditorium for like legit shows and stuff. And it was just amazing. You had to be there pretty much. If you didn't go, you messed up. You fucked up.
We fucked up. That is that's true. Yeah, because I gotta say, sitting at home, one of the things that I noticed, at least because my colleague Efren and I got to go to Evo last year, and I remember watching the VODs back after the fact and thinking, Mike, you cannot comprehend how loud that crowd was, and yet watching it on stream, the crowd seemed loud. So for the crowd to seem that loud on stream, I can't imagine what it was like being in that auditorium, when actually being in the room when everything was happening.
It was nuts. That's all I gotta say. It's amazing.
Super
And your
well
boy Mango did
organized,
pretty
though.
well. Your boy Mango did really well.
I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like Genesis 3 is the preface for like what is to come this year, because every DreamHack event is going to have a giant Melee tournament, and that is going to be very, very good for this game. I'm sure there are other TOs. We'll see if Activision Blizzard wants to continue promoting this with MLG, but I feel like Genesis 3 was a very good tournament to show the community and players this is what's coming for Melee and for Smash 4 in 2016.
It's hard to argue with 6 figures worth of people watching the thing when most of the country's already in bed. You know, I mean, it's 108,000. I literally felt. I mean, forgive me, folks. I was just taking NyQuil. I literally fell asleep during Mango and Armada at like 1 a.m. because it was still going on, and there were still hundreds of thousands of people watching. There's no arguing that this community has a lot to offer, and there's so much so much passion and so many people that are sort of jumping on, because I feel like it's one of those games that people can appreciate even if you aren't like you don't specifically play it. We've seen League players really jump on the Counter-Strike wagon. We've seen just as many League and Dota players talk about how much they love Smash just because it's so easy to appreciate. Moving on to our next question. We've only got a couple left, but I think they're pretty good ones. Psycho Waffles wants to know, what do you think your own weaknesses as a player are?
Say, until lately, I used to tilt really hard. Like, if I thought someone was playing like hella lame, for example, I would just get mad, and you wouldn't see it on my face, but I would like start playing like dumber and dumber. And lately, I just learned to like clear my head, I guess, and just focus on making the right choice instead of just getting mad and then like running in to like a sheik who just grabs you and until you die. So yeah.
You don't strike me, honestly, as the kind of person that would get really upset in the middle of the match. You seem like a pretty even kill, is there something about a match or a situation that really rubs you along? I mean, you talked about lame play, for example. Is that the kind of thing that really frustrates you, or is it your own performance that generally gets you upset?
I guess a little bit of both. Sometimes I'm not playing like the way I want to. And then when I get like grabbed by sheik, it's kind of compounds like you're playing kind of bad, or you think you're playing bad, and then now you're getting lamed out. So it kind of sucks. It's more of a Falcon thing, but it's really more me as a player. It's all mental, like I was saying earlier.
Well, how do you think like you could improve that part of the game? Like, how do you think you could improve your mental game, personally?
I guess, well, I think I'm way better nowadays already, but I just gotta not get mad. Like, Melee, there's a lot of lame stuff from every character, Falcon included, so you just gotta, just play the game and not get upset at every little thing, bad thing. Things don't go your way sometimes, but you can't let it get to you.
That makes sense.
And it's frustrating too when lame stuff works really well. I think that's one of the hardest parts for me. I remember my brother and I played Tekken Tag Tournament back in the day, and he played Hwoarang. And if any of you have ever played Tekken, you know that Hwoarang just kicks and kicks and kicks you in the face. And of course, I didn't know the block button, and so he just kept kicking my ass game after game after game. And I got mad about that. I think a lot of people get mad about cheap stuff, but I mean, do you eventually just accept the fact that there's lame crap in the game that wins and then just work around it, or are you still a little bit upset when you see people playing lame, as you put it?
I just kind of accept it, and Falcon has the speed to just literally not deal with it. You just run away. So yeah, it's more about like picking your spots better and not trying to force spots that suck. Honestly,
it sounds like most of the lame stuff works when you let it work. If you could pick your position and have crisper movement, maybe you can get around it.
Most of the time, I think I lost to Android at DreamHack, and for a lot of people it's an upset. But it was just, I don't know. I wasn't playing good, and I was getting mad too. So yeah.
But you're better at that now. You're getting better at that. Last question comes to us from Jiggles the Puff. Jiggles the Puff wants to know, do you plan on playing more Smash games than just Melee at the moment? I saw some old guide that you made on 64.
Probably won't come back to 64. The game just isn't for me, especially competitive wise. The game's fun to mess around with, but I probably won't play it again seriously. PM, I might enter it once in a while if it's the same tournament as a Melee tournament, but yeah, I probably won't focus too much on any other Melee game or Smash game. Honestly.
Melee.
Speaking, yeah.
Melee HD in the future. Please.
Yeah, Melee HD.
Don't put hope in
Yeah.
there.
Sounds good.
By the way, I'm being told by the chat that apparently Tekken doesn't have a block button, so you could see why I play Smash. Well, that actually wraps up all of our questions for tonight, except one.
Yes.
The time has come. Favorite food. You can only eat this one food. You can probably have whatever beverage you want with it. That's fine. But you can only eat one food for the rest of your life. What is it?
I know what chat wants you to say, but
I I gotta go, guys.
That's too. Damn it. That's too bad. Well, honestly, we had a great time having you on the show.
Yeah, same.
Johnny.
Pleasure's
Go. You got any shout outs or anything before we close up shop?
Shout outs to Rito's mom. Shout outs to all my fans, and shout outs to Melee, and yeah, hope everyone has a great rest of the day, evening, whatever.
Whatever's
happy to be here. Thanks for interviewing me and stuff.
Yeah, no problem, Johnny. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We will be back not next week. Actually, big exciting news from .esports. We're getting a brand new studio, moving into a new place, getting to rewire and reconfigure and rejigger ourselves for 2016. We're getting excited for a very big year. If you enjoyed the show tonight and you just cannot wait for another episode, check us out on YouTube. Subscribe, youtube.com/daily.esports. If you liked the show enough to give us a little bit of money every month, pretty good show, right? Check out the subscribe button. We just recently got it, and if you want to subscribe, we'll also be happy to give you a shout out. Or if you just want to follow the channel, find out when more of the programming like this comes on, hit that follow button. It's somewhere down below the window. I'm sure you can find it. Check us out on Twitter @.esports, on Facebook daily.esports. I have been Ian Double John Barker. This has been Jacob Braille Wolf. That's going to do it for another episode of the SmashBros AMA, brought to you by the Daily Dot. We will see you next time.